Hi everyone, and welcome to this short power flow. We are going to get started today in a kneeling position nearer the back of the mats. So feeling free to come there when you are ready, grabbing hold of anything that you might need. So blocks, bolsters, cushions, maybe a blanket for Savasana at the end. So feeling free to move to there now. And we're just going to get started with knees open a little wider than hip distance, just giving yourself that little bit of space. Settling down and just allowing hands to rest on top of the thighs and taking that gaze forwards. So it's almost as if we've got kind of like a piece of string going through the spine and up and out the top of the head, making you sit that little bit taller, and just taking that gaze forwards and then shutting down through the eyes. And just starting practice here by being aware of the breath. So we're just noticing how we're starting practice. We're not trying to change the breath, move it, just welcoming it in as it is. So you might notice these things. Notice if the breath is moving all the way down towards the belly. Maybe it's residing a little higher in the chest. Does it feel fast or slow? Just being aware. So we ask ourselves these little questions just to check in at the start of practice. So noticing all of the parts of the body that are grounded down towards the mat, towards the earth. And then when we're ready, slowly starting to flutter open eyelids, and we're going to inhale, draw those arms up above the head, and just start by taking a big stretch. It might be that you interlace through the fingers, really pushing up towards the ceiling. Exhale, releasing down. And then next inhale that you take, drawing up again. This time finding Kali Mudra. So index fingers are together, thumbs are together, all other fingers are interlaced. It's this long line of energy, that finger pointing up towards the sky. And from here, we're just going to start to move through the body, start to build some warmth. So just taking circles with the hands. So it's almost as if you're drawing a circle onto the ceiling. So we're just moving the body around, and we're keeping them small to start off with. And then as we start to move, these circles start to get bigger. So slowly, we're starting to move more of the body here. And eventually it might be that the circles get super big, so that finger is almost coming out towards the front of the room. And then round towards the back as we open through the chest, through the heart, drawing back round. And then when we're ready, when we feel like the circle can't get any bigger, just changing direction. We're going to go the opposite way now. So starting with the big circles. And then eventually winding down. Starting to make them that little bit smaller. And then eventually we're going to get super small again. It's just going to be the upper body moving. And then coming to a natural pause, inhale. Exhale, just take those hands down towards the mat, coming forwards into tabletop. So shoulders stacked above wrists, hips stacked above knees. And taking a nice big breath here, dropping the belly, lifting up through the chest, taking our cat-cow. So we inhale, take that gaze forwards, exhale, round through the back, head drops down. So staying with this movement, or option to become that little bit more intuitive. So checking in, asking how the body's feeling here. So just noticing what you need. So it's all about kind of filling up that cup. So we really want to just notice what the body needs here and respond through our movement, or maybe even through our stillness. So it might be that the body simply wants to drop back and take a child's pose. We're practicing with kindness today towards the body. So as we move here, closing down through the eyes, not thinking too much about how this looks, just allowing yourself to drop into how it feels. And just ask yourself, is there anywhere in the body that feels like it needs that extra bit of love today? Is there anywhere in the body that feels like it needs rest, a pause? So we just want to be really aware throughout the practice, listening to any signals that the body is sending out. So we're taking this moment now just to check in. When you next come back through neutral, just tucking under toes, pushing back into the feet. So getting a nice stretch out, pushing down through the hands, through fingertips, and noticing that connection to the mat. Taking one more inhale here. As we exhale, lifting off the knees, drawing hips up and then back, coming into a downward facing dog. First one of the practice, maybe first one of the day. I'm going to start to take some wiggles. So starting off by just pedaling through the feet. And then next inhale that we find rolling the body forwards. We're moving almost like a wave here as we exhale, dropping knees and pushing back towards this downward facing dog. So just taking two more. We inhale. It's almost as if we're rippling the body like a wave. Exhale, push back. One more. Inhale forwards. Exhale, release. And then when we arrive, stepping or jumping feet towards the hands, nice big bend in the knees, just taking hands to opposite elbows, coming into Uttanasana, forward fold. And maybe you've got a sway from side to side, so you rock the weight into the left foot and into the right. Maybe you rock the weight forwards into the toes and then back into the heels. And then when we're ready, inhaling, starting to draw up vertebrae by vertebrae. Taking hands up towards the sky, gazing towards the hands. Exhale, hands come down through heart center and Jali Mudra. We take our sun salutations. We're starting to build that heat. Inhale, draw up. Exhale, cascade down, coming into that forward fold. Inhale, we lift up halfway, so hands come to the shins. Nice straight back gaze forwards. Exhale, the hands plant down. We step or jump the feet back. First one, just dropping knees, untucking toes on the exhale, coming down towards the belly. Inhale, we lift up baby cobra. Maybe those fingertips come off the mat. Exhale, push down, tuck under toes, roll it back. Downward facing dog. Coming into those spinal rolls again. So we roll forwards, drop the knees, push back. Taking two more. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And then from here, as we arrive, stepping or jumping, feet towards the front. We inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale to root down through the feet, rising up through the hands, taking gaze up. Exhale, hands down through heart center. So taking that again, we inhale. Exhale, cascade down, nice bend in the knees. Inhale, lift up, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, hands come down, stepping or jumping, feet back to plank. Your choice to take knees and chest as before or to come through your chaturanga on the exhale. Inhale, baby cobra as we did last time, or upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck under toes, draw it back, downward facing dog. Option to take a pause here. Or maybe we're finding that movement again. So taking the spinal rolls, taking three. Inhale forwards, exhale to push back. Two more. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhale, push back. When you arrive, next inhale that you find, stepping or jumping feet towards the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, push down through the feet, lift up through the hands. Exhale, hands come down through heart center, palms pushing together, and Jali Mudra. This time, taking our sun salutation, B. So we're coming into an Utkatasana. So as we inhale, bending through the knees, taking arms up towards the sky, gaze up towards the hands. We're dropping that weight into the hips here, into the feet. Inhale, one more breath in. Exhale, release down, forward fold. Inhale, we lift up halfway. Exhale, hands come down, stepping or jumping, feet back. Working through your vinyasa, knees and chest or chaturanga. Inhale. up dog or baby cobra. Exhale, tuck under toes, roll it back, downward facing dog. From here, just coming to find a nice big releasing breath. So breathing in through the nose, sighing out through the mouth. And as we inhale, lifting that right leg up towards the sky. As we exhale, stepping it in between the hands, we're going to ground the back foot at an angle. Inhale, rising up, pushing down through the right leg, finding our warrior one. So we're grounding down into that front foot, lifting up through the hands. Inhale here. And as we exhale, finding an opening, right arm goes forward, left arm goes back. The back foot pivots slightly, so the long edge of the foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat, finding warrior two. And we fly that warrior two 3 times. So inhale, drawing up. Exhale, releasing down. Inhaling up. Exhale, taking that bend through the front knee. One more time, inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhale up one more time, and then we pivot. We're coming onto the front foot, onto the back toes, taking the arms torso forwards, coming into our high lunge. And we're just going to pulse for 10 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a pause, taking that back knee down, untucking back toes, coming into this low lunge. Hands can come down through heart center. We're going to draw those hands to frame the front foot. So we're coming into almost a runner's lunge that gazes forwards. Inhale, drawing up. As we exhale, straightening through that right leg, flexing right foot up, coming into a half split. So just taking 2 more of these. We inhale, move forwards into that lunge. Shining the heart space open. Exhale, drawing back. One more time. Inhale forwards. Exhale, draw it back. Next inhale, moving into that runner's lunge again. We're going to tuck under the back toes, lift up the knee, take hands down to frame the foot, step right foot back to that plank, coming straight to a child's pose or coming through your vinyasa. So coming through, inhale, draw up, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, tuck under the toes, draw it back, down dog. Couple of options here. Options to just find your stillness in that downward facing dog. Option to take a little pause, take a child's pose, or if you want to come through some undulations, so some up dog and down dog. So we're going to keep the toes tucked, and as we inhale, we're going to roll the body forwards, drop the hips, lift through the chest, take gaze forwards. As we exhale, roll it back to that downward facing dog. It's taking 4 more of these. Inhaling forwards. Exhale, draw back. Inhale forwards. Exhale back. Inhale forwards. Exhale back. Taking a pause, everybody meeting in that downward facing dog. And then coming through to take the other side. So this time as we inhale, the left leg is going to sweep up behind us. As we exhale, we draw it forwards in between the hands. Ground the back foot. Inhale, lift arms up, finding that warrior one. Again, grounding down through that front foot, lifting up through the fingertips. Breathing in. As we exhale, opening out, warrior two, left arm forwards, right arm back. And we're going to fly the warrior again 3 times. So we inhale, straighten through that front leg. Exhale to release. 2 more. Inhale, drawing up. Exhale. Inhale, drawing up. Exhale, releasing, taking that bend through the knee. Inhale, we lift up again, and we're going to pivot, coming onto the back toes, taking the torso forwards, coming into this high lunge, nice bend through the front leg, and we're just going to pulse again for 10. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then from here, dropping that knee down, untucking back toes, taking the hands down to frame the foot, coming into this runner's lunge, and we undulate again between the half split. As we exhale, draw back. Inhale, coming forwards into that lunge, lifting up through the chest. Taking 2 more. Exhale, draw back. Inhale, moving forwards. Exhale, draw it back. Inhale, come forwards. And then taking hands down, tucking under back toes, lifting off the back knee, stepping left foot back, high plank. Your option to come straight to downward facing dog or take your vinyasa. So as we exhale, chaturanga, or knees to chest, and then inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck under toes, draw it back, downward facing dog. Pausing here, finding that moment for stillness, taking a break in child's, or maybe coming through these up dog, down dog undulations again. So as we inhale, moving forwards, keeping toes tucked, dropping the hips, lifting up through the chest. Exhale, draw it back. Taking 4 more. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One last one. Inhaling forwards. Exhale, drawing it back. This time, everybody from down dog arriving in a child's pose, dropping knees down, untucking toes, letting the hips roll back, forehead coming down towards the mat, and just taking a moment to rest. We've got this idea in yoga of sthira and sukham, so effort and ease. So you've put that effort in, the body's been moving. We take a moment now to simply pause. And if it feels like the arms really stretching out forwards, and there's a lot of effort kind of involved in staying here, you might just choose to draw hands back towards the head. Allow elbows to come out towards the sides. Just find a little bit of extra space for the shoulders, for the back. Allow your child's pose to really be a place of rest. So somewhere where you just contemplate how the body's feeling, how the breath is feeling. And now is likely that moment to check in. So just notice, does the breath feel any different from the start of class? Knowing that there's no right or wrong way for the breath to feel. You might check in with the body. How does the body feel? Is there anywhere in the body that feels like it might need that extra bit of love? Maybe the hips feel tight. Maybe it's the back. Maybe it's those regular places. Maybe it's a little more sneaky. Maybe it's through the face. So if there's any tension being held anywhere, just seeing if we can send the breath towards that tension. And find the moment to release, to let go as we breathe. Next inhale that we find ever so gently starting to rise up. Just coming back towards kneeling as we arrive here, taking an inhale, rolling shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, just roll them down the back. And then using those hands to help you, just swing those legs around towards the front. And taking legs out long. Just going to come in to a forward fold, Paschimottanasana. So taking feet hip distance apart, and taking a nice big flex through the feet. It might be that you sit up on a small block here or a cushion to help you with that fold forwards. And as we inhale, we're going to draw those arms up towards the sky, taking the gaze up there as well. As we exhale, slowly allowing that body to just start to fold down. We're keeping the back nice and straight, keeping active through the feet so the feet are flexed. And you can then take the hands down for support. So when we feel the back starting to round, starting to move down, just taking a pause. We want to be finding length. So gaze is towards the big toes, and it's almost as if we're moving forwards, not down. So the aim is to not be folding towards the legs, it's to be getting the head as far forwards as possible. So activating through the legs, taking the hands down for that support. So it might be that the hands rest on top of the legs. And just pausing here, staying with that breath. Noticing sensations through the back of the legs, through the hamstrings. Might be that you can take the index finger and the next finger along around the big toes. And just gently tug the body forwards that tiny bit more, so elbows coming out to the sides. Everyone just taking one more breath here in. Exhale, releasing out through the mouth. If you've got hold of the toes, letting go. As we start to roll up, then just allowing yourself to point through the toes and flex. So just taking some movements. And then ever so slowly, using hands to help you, just scooching forwards, coming down towards the back. And drawing knees in towards the chest. Noticing the grounding of the lumbar spine towards the mat. And maybe taking a rock side to side. Then we're going to move in to a supine twist. So we're just going to cross the right leg over the left and then take arms out into a T or a cactus shape. And we're going to drop both of the legs over towards the left hand side of the mat, seeing if we can keep the right shoulder grounded and take the head over towards the right. So if the cross in the legs feels quite intense here, option to just uncross the legs and just take both of them over towards the left. So it's your choice, or you can keep that cross just to deepen slightly more. Similarly, if it feels a lot having the head over to the right, you can always keep the head in neutral. So closing down through the eyes now. Just allowing the body to start to settle. Imagining the body feeling heavy, so almost as if it's melting down towards the earth. Taking a few more breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale, head comes back through center first. And then we gently move those legs back into the center line, untangle them. And taking the other side, so left knee crosses over the right. This time both of the legs are going to come over towards the right hand side. And taking the head over towards the left. Again, seeing if we can keep that left shoulder grounded. So if you're finding that the left shoulder is peeling off, seeing if you can maybe just scooch the legs down slightly more. Have a play with that placement. And again, closing down through the eyes. Allowing body to be heavy. Taking one more inhale here. Exhale, head comes back through center. Legs move back through center as well. Drawing knees in towards the chest again and just taking soles of the feet up towards the sky. Knees drop out to either side of the body. Hands can take hold of calves, ankles, or sides of the feet. And just take a rock from side to side, so finding that happy baby. Any last movement that you might need here. Maybe a stretch overhead, so maybe you just take the legs and the arms up into the air. And slowly releasing everything down. Taking legs out long, feet can drop towards the sides. Arms down either side of the body, palms facing up, coming into our Savasana. So taking any extra wiggles here that you might need, any readjustments. Maybe it's simply picking up the head, picking up the shoulders or the hips and placing them back down. Really asking yourself, what does my body need here? And as we pause here, eyes start to close, and again the body feels heavy. Melting down towards the earth, we're finding that release. Our Shavasana is our place to relax and reset. There is nothing to do here, there is nowhere to be. We are simply present with the breath, present with the body. But again, I invite you here to just check in. So notice how the breath feels, notice how the body feels. We've done this 3 times now, once at the start of practice, once in the middle, and now we ask it again here, nearing that end. So just scan over the body as we breathe. Our breath facilitates our movement throughout practice, but it also facilitates our stillness. So even as we are still here, our bellies are rising and falling, our diaphragms moving. So notice as you inhale, scanning over the body from the crown of the head all the way down to the toes. Is there anywhere where the body feels any tension? Is there anywhere that we could send that breath to? As we inhale, do we wish to send the breath down towards the legs, towards the hips, maybe towards the shoulders or the back or the belly? Send that breath to where it's needed, showing the body that little bit of kindness. Next, inhale that moves through the body, eventually reaching out to most edges, fingertips, toes. It moves through the body like a wave. And with that gentle movement, we just start to roll over onto one side. Eyes can remain closed, just really taking our time as we move. So waking the body up slowly, there's no rush here. Taking a few breaths on our side, whichever side we choose to roll onto. And then ever so gently, when we're ready, starting to move up towards seated. When we arrive here, hands rested on the thighs, we just take a moment of gratitude. So we say thank you to ourselves for finding the time to come to the mat and practice. And we say thank you to the amazing lineage of teachers that have come before us. When we're ready, just taking palms of the hands together at heart center, rubbing them together, creating some warmth between the hands. And then placing them over the eyes, dropping chin down through chest. And sealing our practice with one last breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Releasing hands into the lap, fluttering open eyelids, coming back to the space, coming back to the room. So thank you guys so much for practicing with me today, and I hope that was a good class that you can come back to. It's a really good one for getting energized and really building some heat in the body a little quickly, and then also a nice relax at the end. If you did enjoy it, please like the video or subscribe to the channel, and there will be new classes soon, so I hope to see you back